right, good afternoon, and of course, many thanks for joining us this amazing Saturday, the 19th of August, the year 2023. It is a beautiful and wonderful Saturday full of sporty action, and I'm just glad that you decided to join us in a match lined up for you in championship that is currently underway in Budapest. Remember, today is the day one, and now across that is the World Athletics Championship that is happening in Budapest, but here in the country, to be precise, at Nyayo Stadium, we will be having a big match between Kakamega Homeboys and Al Hilal, a team from Libya. They will be battling out for, the crown, that is the preliminary rounds matches between the two teams, and this whoever, of course, will win this one and go for another one, then they will be proceeding to play Rwandan side in this particular championship. Remember, Kakamega Homeboys will be seeking to hunt, or rather will be hunting this ticket for the first time ever. Well, there is still some good news with our Malkia strikers there in Cameroon. Of course, they have won all of their 3 sets. Remember, they won first set 3-0, then the second one 3-0. That is the first match, and the second match and the third match, and that is a good news. Now they'll be eyeing to go all the way to the semi-finals, and who knows, maybe lift the title and just lift their credentials and even their, and that is a discussion that we'll be taking a deep look into it later on in our subsequent sports review, that and many more. But remember, still we'll be crossing over to international sports news, and we'll be talking precise the transfer saga that is happening. Remember, we have seen a lot of players, of course, now opting for Saudi Arabia League, but there is still a lot of money that has been splashed. The big boys, Chelsea, flexing their muscles, outgunning the likes of Liverpool in that transfer saga. We'll be talking about that. And remember, we have a couple of matches lined up for you in the English Premier League, and the big match that many will be expecting is the match between Manchester City and Newcastle. Remember, Manchester City are at home, that is at Etihad Stadium, and Newcastle, of course, registered their opening 2023-2024 league with a very, very strong statement, 5-1 against Aston Villa. Will they replicate that similar performance in today's match? That is something that we'll be waiting to see which two teams will be setting the tempo. Remember, this is a team that last season they finished in the top 4 bracket. Manchester City, of course, carried the league, and of course it was a very sweet season for them, going all the way for treble, Champions League, then they won the league, then the FA Cup, and that is something that any manager will dream. But we have some of the news that we have highlighted for you, that some will be forming the basis of our discussion today, and some is just what has been happening, or rather what is happening across different disciplines as far as sports is concerned, here in the country and of course across the border. Now it's time to take a look at those highlights. Alright, now let me take you to Budapest, that is in Hungary. The long-awaited 2023 World Athletics Championship kicks off officially today with a record number of more than 2,187 athletes from 202 countries ready for action. This year's championship will see a star-studded side, that is World Athletics Championship, clash for individual crown, with fierce battle expected in the men's 100-meter race when world champion, that is Fred Kelly, and Tokyo Olympic champion Marcel Jacobs renew their rivalry in the race that will see the likes of Africa's fastest man Ferdinand Omanyala and Botswanan Letsile Tebogo will be bidding to become the first event or first ever African champion. 100 meters hurdle, then walk race, 4x400 meters relay, 3,000 meters steeplechase are among the event lined up for today.
From the crowd, Coleman's going well out in lane 7. Still no move yet from Curley. Bracey going.
All eyes will be on Faith Kipyegon and Sipan Hassan, two of the greats, all-time greats, you have to say, of women's distance running.
Also coming through is Lindsay as well, but in the end, on the line, 9:92. Omanyala and Tebogo, very, very close indeed in the photo finish.
All right, we'll be expecting, of course, very, very, very intense competition and fireworks in that matter between one of our very own, Ferdinand Omanyala, when we'll be up against one of the greatest athletes as far as 100-meter race is concerned. It's something that we'll be keen to, follow up and take a look at what will be happening now from athletics to football. The Kenya Premier League side Kakamega Homeboys is set to play against Libyan side Al Hilal in the first leg match of the Confederation of Africa Football, that is CAF Federation Cup, which is set to kick off today, Saturday, at the Nyayo National Stadium. Kakamega Homeboys are the representative of Kenya after winning the 2023 Mozart Bet Cup.
Kakamega Homeboys had their final training session as they prepare to face Libyan side Al Hilal in the first leg match of the CAF Confederation Cup tournament set to be played tomorrow at the Nyayo National Stadium. Homeboys defender Brian Shihanda has said that they are well prepared and are looking forward to the match.
Tumejikakamua poa, kocha amefanya kazi yake, pia sisi tuko poa. Game ya Al Hilal sisi tumejipanga at least kuimprove kwa ile game ya Gor Mahia. Kitu iko hapo tutaongezea kufunga zaidi vile tulifanya ile game nyingine. Naona tulipata bao moja. Game ya Al Hilal tunaomba Mungu atujalie tupate bao zaidi ya 3.
Homeboys chairman Bernard Shitiabai has appreciated the support from Football Kenya Federation as they prepare to take on Al Hilal, who finished third in the Libyan Football League.
I also wish to appreciate the Federation. They've given us total support that we expected. FKF, please, thank you very much. And also the Libyan team, they've also been cooperative enough. Anasema tafadhali kwa wale mashabiki pali ambapo mupo. Kesho ni siku ya Jumamosi ambayo hakuna Jumamosi nyingine kama hiyo. Baada ya muda mrefu ambao tumekuwa na kiu ya kuweza kupata mpira, leo hii tuje pamoja tuone mpira ya kitaifa. Na Kakamega Homeboys nawaahidi kwamba hatutawa let down.
I think hii uwanja imekuwa most of the time in our favor na tumepata matokeo hapa, so mara moja so mara mbili, so ni uwanja ambao tumeuzoea na tutagive all our best kuhakikisha tunapata matokeo. Bas wa Kenya wakuja tu support, sababu sisi team ni Homeboys lakini tuna represent Kenya, so kwa support yao nadhani tutaweza kufikia malengo yetu.
Kakamega Homeboys are participating in the CAF Confederation Cup tournament for the first time in the club's history after beating Tusker 1-0 in the 2023 Mozart Bet Cup finals held on July 1st, 2023. Homeboys, however, lost 4-2 against Gor Mahia on post-match penalties in the Charity Shield match. Tomorrow's match will kick off at 3 p.m. Kenyan time at the Nyayo National Stadium, while the second leg will be played on the 27th of August 2023 in Benghazi, Libya, where the winner will face Rayon Sports of Rwanda. Njama Gikomo, KUTV Sports.
All right, thank you very much, Njama, for that comprehensive reporting. And actually, we're just counting, minutes before the kickoff to that, the much-awaited fixtures, or rather clash between the Kakamega Homeboys and Al Hilal. Well, now still matters football. Vihiga Queens will be looking to complete a perfect group stage run when they take on JKT Queens in their third and final group match of Confederation of Africa Football CAF Women Champions League qualifiers. Both teams are already through to the semis, having won their opening two fixtures, and the winner on Saturday will advance as Pool B leaders. The Vihiga-based side interim coach Charles Okekere is optimistic that they will overcome their Tanzanian rivals. Right, we wish the Vihiga Queens all the best, even as they hunt that ticket to represent Kenya and the East African Zone region in the upcoming Women CAF, some sort of Women Champions League that will be held in Ivory Coast later on. Now, Kasarani and Nyayo Stadium, Krigiti Stadium in Kiambu, Raila Odinga Stadium, Jomo Kenyatta and Ulinzi Complex are among the stadia given a nod to host the 2023-2024 season. Football Kenya Federation Venue Inspection Committee presented its findings and recommendations from the previous and the recent venue inspections for the purpose of evaluating the facility, infrastructure and overall suitability as potential venue for hosting Football Kenya Federation Premier League matches for the season 2023-2024. Right, now let's switch gears to some international action. Sevilla goalkeeper Yacine Bonu is the latest big name to quit Europe for the riches of Saudi Arabia signings for Al Hilal. The Moroccan international is the second big signing for Al Hilal this week, following the transfer of Neymar from Paris Saint-Germain. Bonu joins the growing list of players who are leaving Europe for Saudi Arabia, including Sadio Mane, who joined Cristiano Ronaldo's at Al Nassr, Karim Benzema, Kalidou Koulibaly, Kante and Riyad Mahrez from Manchester City are among other players who have joined Saudi Arabia League. Well, Euros champions England will take on high-flying Spain in the finals of the Women World Cup that will be held on Sunday at Australia Stadium. England will be eyeing to end 57 years of dry spell. The Lionesses roared their way into the first Women World Cup final title game and set up an all-European final since 2003 when Germany beat Sweden. Both teams head into the finals after months of success in Europe. England has been on top of the global game since winning the European Championship last summer, and Spain is in their first final less than a year since 15 players quit the team in protest. Now the treble winners Manchester City beat Sevilla 5-4 on penalties to win their first ever UEFA Super League trophy in an exhilarating play match played at Athens, Greece. Europa League winners Sevilla went ahead in the first half with a goal from striker Yusuf Ben-Nesri before Champions League winners Manchester City equalized in the second half with a fine header from Cole Palmer. The match went on to penalties after 90 minutes, with City scoring all 5 of their spot kick to win their first trophy of the season under the Spanish tactician Pep Guardiola. The citizens will resume Premier League action when they host Newcastle United at Etihad Stadium on Saturday, that is today. Right, well, we are due for our first break here. Well, that is after we have done with our first segment. But remember, coming up next is the discussion that will be based on football. Remember, the team just fresh from, of course, participating in the World Cup Championship that was held in Malaysia, and we'll be taking a reflection of what actually happened, some of the lessons to be learned, and of course, still that will be followed up, and I will be joined by Titus Mboya, that is the national head coach for football, and we'll be talking about a raft of issues as far as football is concerned. Remember, you can talk to us on all of our social media platform. That is your Facebook, and of course, you're live on YouTube. And you can tweet us at KUTV Kenya, at AUMA Events. Remember, the hashtag to use is on the spot. Well, remember, our question of the day, we are asking you, do you think Kakamega Homeboys has all what it takes to actually win the CAF Confederation Cup? Do you think Kakamega Homeboys has all that it takes to win the CAF Confederation Cup? Keep on talking to us on all of our social media platforms. Remember, we are live on YouTube at KUTV Kenya, and you can tweet us at KUTV_Kenya, at AUMA Events, the hashtag to use on the spot. See you in just a bit after this short break.
The Lord is the beginning of wisdom. The Bible says, when he spoke, then he spoke a parable to them, that men always ought to pray and not lose heart.
Christ says, I stand in the door and I knock. Whoever hears my voice and opens, I will dwell with him.
Like the moon, I will fade. But like the star, I will rise again. And though I fall, be rest assured that I will rise again.
Go to the hospitals, tell them that God will heal them. Go to the prisons, tell them that they'll be free. Go to the crusades and tell people that Christ is coming, and sooner than the word itself, is the second advent is imminent.
Maelfu na maelfu ya wahamiaji wakiwa na watoto kutoka nchi za Amerika ya Kati wanaendelea kuwasili kwenye mpaka kati ya Marekani na Mexico.
The folks are going. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Ni habari kutoka pembe zote duniani.
People pass vuguvugu. People pass ni idea.
Sazidi ananyonya, hanyonyi vizuri, anakuwa hayuko comfortable.
Jeshi la Jamhuri ya Kidemokrasia ya Kongo linapambana na waasi wa ADF.
Kwa sasa wanatoa wito kwa mashirika, makampuni na vile vituo vya uchukuzi.
Mambo mengi yatakwenda kama yalivyopangwa.
Hapa ni kuna mmoja wa viongozi wa chama cha wavuvi katika eneo hili.
Zaidi tunajaribu kuwapa chanjo ili ina boost ama inanyanyua kinga ya mwili, ndio inaenda kupelekea kupambana na virusi.
Ni duniani leo, Jumatatu mpaka Ijumaa, moja kwa moja kutoka VOA Swahili, Washington DC.
You know, reggae music wasn't the most popular music in my neighborhood growing up. And I discovered it on the radio, and from the first moment, just couldn't stop listening.
Many people express themselves through music.
Music is a freedom of expression.
We want the music to reach the people.
They see me smile, but they don't know what I feel inside. Traffic all I bring from the beginning. I gave you my heart, right from the start. Don't break it, Maria. I gave you my heart, right from the start. Don't break it. Wanna be my I'm an African.
So when you are sad and you listen to this song makes you happy, feel encouraged. The song gives you hope for a bright future.
Message to the world.
All talent, there's always room for improvement.
To have faith.
We can be lazy and wait until it's over, or work hard and, try to be ready whenever there is something to do. We can just be on point.
So we need to join hands and realize that together we can achieve.
For John so loved this world now, he gave his only begotten Son. Whosoever will believe in him should not perish but live. God did not send his Son to condemn this world, but through him this world might be saved. Oh my children, give me
Straight away pour the drink.
Karibu katika awamu yetu ya Funza ni Kufunze, na leo nitakuwa na mtaalamu wangu ambaye anaandaa vinywaji.
Lisalika.
Mambo matamu kweli kweli, kijana amewajibika kweli kweli hapa kwenye mitindo ya kipwani.
Mtazamaji popote ulipo, unapokuwa ukitazama Safina Show
inang'oananga sasa hivi. Ungana nami Albanas Mwania, nahodha wa Safina Show, nikutoe ng'ambo ya pili hadi ufuoni. Safina Show, sauti ya matumaini.
To the Church O'Clock Show. I'm your host, Esther Becky.
And my name is DJ Terrell.
We start you off with a word of prayer and get you started with a live transformational worship experience. And have our minds renewed by the word of God on the word segment.
And not forgetting new music za hii wiki, yani ndakuwa bado nawapatia pale wasanii wamekuwa kiwakali. So make sure manzo umetune in because zitakuwa zina flow pia pale mixes kwa wingi, yani zitakuwa zina come through, and pia performance yani from our gospel artist hapa on Gospel Art
from 7 to
10 a.m. only on KUTV.
Be
years since the inception of Kenyatta University Women Economic Empowerment Hub, famously KUE Hub, thousands of women have been empowered economically through research conducted by Kenyatta University scholars.
Sasa unajua wametufunza sasa tujue hata wamama wanaweza simama mahali wanaume wanasimama.
Kwa hiyo biashara yangu ya poshomi, nimejua nikifanya leo, yani you know I'm selling maize na kushaga. So jioni nakuja kufanya hesabu, nitoe expenses, nione income yenye nimepata, ni safe.
KUE Hub partners with different stakeholders in implementing research ideas through decision and policy making at county levels.
As we influence policy ourselves, we use data for policy. Also use this data for fundraising, which they are doing.
Through their leadership and governance project, KUE Hub visited Bomet County for research to reach their one objective of empowering women in leadership.
Nimejaribu juzi kuwania kiti cha director Kenya National Chamber of Commerce, and thank God I was elected. Wow. Being a woman. And again I've got other leadership positions yenye nimepata.
Do not miss out on this special feature this Sunday on KUTV at 9 p.m.
Right, welcome back, and this is where we pick this particular discussion. Remember, here in studio, I'm glad to be joined by Titus Mboya, that is the national head coach for Woodball team, and of course I have here Dorcas Gaki, that is the, I believe, team captain for the ladies side. And today the discussion is all about the reflection. Remember, the team is just fresh from participating in the beach Woodball World Cup that was held in Malaysia. There is some valuable lessons that the team have learned from there, and of course now that they have had the experience, what is the way to forge forward as far as Woodball is concerned? And that is the discussion that we are having today in this show. Of course, Coach, thank you so much for making time.
Thank you.
All right. And Gaki, asante sana for making time. By the way, how does it feel? Of course, taking part in the Woodball, competition for the first time ever. How is the experience?
The experience is nice.
Mm-hmm.
It was awesome. It was very good because we were exposed to something new. We went and played with international, people from different countries. We interacted with them, so the experience was nice, and we gained more exposure when we interacted with them, so it was good.
It was good.
Yeah.
Wow. And Coach, you had a squad of relatively young players going there, of course competing against the best of the very best, and of course posting the result of which, for me, I'll say, for a team that is starting, that was a job well done. How will you, of course, describe this journey, even as you take us through the reflection and even the experience, of course?
I can call the national team for the Kenyan woodballers as the most resilient souls I've ever met.
Okay.
Because taking someone first is the first time they're getting out of the country, out to compete with giants who have played the lone woodball, like someone tells you in 1996. I was playing in Indonesia, when you're taking a player who is born in 1998. So to them, they are so much experienced. And we went like the underdogs of the day. We were not so sure how will we beat these Ugandans, Indonesians, people from Malaysia, people from Taiwan. because the game came from Taiwan. So how do you beat people? It's like you telling me you will manage to beat Brazilians when is it football? Maybe it's in Germany or Brazil. So when the results were out, you expect to start getting your results from down, then you get Team Kenya is up there. First, I want to thank the government of Kenya. The Ministry of Sports supported the Kenya national team 100%. You can see from the foot to my head, they gave us facilitation to go for the training, because we went for 7 days at Mombasa for beach training.
Okay.
So we had 7 days to train at the beach, but these teams had all their lifetime being at the beach, and then we come with the results. Imagine 7 days at the beach and you're competing with someone who was born at the beach and plays, they are even up to 91 years. We had players who are 91 years and very strong, and that is where they play the games daily. It's like me coming to KUTV, and then I know all the corners in KUTV.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, for you, Dorcas, of course, we're being told you are up against not only the best of the very best, but even experienced players. And when you put into account the fact that you had only maybe 7 days to train at the beach, probably what was the, something that really worked out for you, beside the resilience that the coach is telling us? What worked for you?
The persistence to perform better for your country, because our country is known for it's a country for champions. So even if we had less days, like 7 days to go and play the beach football, which you had no experience about, we still had that spirit to push us to go and do much better. That's why we went there and we competed, even though it was just less days that we played beach football.
Coach,
yes,
3rd place for men, 4th for female category. Do you think, had you had enough time and the resources that you needed, everything, do you think probably today we'll be talking about different results and even talking about the champions?
Yeah, I think if we had more time to train at the beach, I'm so sure I would have brought home more results. Nevertheless, our team is equipped, and this is the beach football. In future, we are expecting more events, like we are having a beach World Cup now, lawn woodball World Cup in China, God willing, in October next year. So we still have room for training and room for improvement. Like in November this year, we are supposed to go to Uganda to play the 3rd Africa Woodball Championship. Remember, Kenya, men are the African champions.
All right.
Ladies are the fast runners. So we are hopeful that everything will be okay. And Malaysia was an eye-opener. It was an eye-opener for us to work hard, irrespective of the resources we have. We don't have to use it and say that we only had 7 days, that's why we didn't bring more medals, because life outside there, it is irrespective of if you ate yesterday, you have to face life just like the other one who had the full opportunity. So as Dorcas has said, when we were playing in Malaysia, people will say, we know Omanyala, we know you are the home of runners. That gave us a psyche that if these other athletes, they are known all the way in Malaysia, like Kenya is a home of runners, we want also to write a history that woodball can still make it, that in spite of not going to the beach all this time, we will make it. And coming home with 6 bronze and 6 bronze medals and 6 bronze 4 bronze trophies is no joke. Because the others, we were losing it at the quarterfinals. With woodball, on the fairway competition, if you score with 3 and I score with 4, you have won. But you see, it was just lucky for you to score with 3 and for me 4. So they are being eliminated just at the knockout. And it also feels good so that in the event you are eliminated and the one who eliminated you goes to the finals, it means you lost to a stronger team. Yeah, beating Thailand, beating Taiwan, beating Indonesia, because in Thailand's team, we were told later that it was the discipline. They are the army forces team that we were playing. So getting a player from just home and going to defeat a military guy, for me, I say congratulations, Team Kenya.
All right.
Yes.
And we'll talk about, the valuable lessons that are, you came with it from Malaysia. But before that, I remember there is some instance that you had to actually stand your ground as far as discipline is concerned. And you had to make some tough choices. Put us to account. What actually, what does it take to be at the top?
To be at the top of every food chain, you have to be disciplined. And the Kenya National Football, the Kenya Football Federation is not joking with the discipline. Discipline means a lot. Discipline is not just about behavior alone. Let's say today with football, for football, the winner is the one who has the least strokes. If a player scores 40 today and tomorrow scores 80, those are 2 different players. We want someone who is consistent. When you're pushed in between a rock and a hard place, when the giant inside you comes out, that is the giant we want. We want players to be pushed to the wall so that the beast inside them comes out. So we had to throw away some players. They are very good players, but discipline-wise, we don't compromise. As you've heard, and I will still repeat, I would rather lose with a disciplined team than win with an indisciplined one. Because the likes of Omanyala, if they were indisciplined, they would not be used as a reference to Nairobi. Oh, we know you are home of champions. You see them, sports and tourism. Despite of just going and winning, we are selling the country of Kenya. And the national team, I am answerable to the government. Why would you take people to go and give a wrong impression about Kenya? We want people to be coming to Kenya to visit because they told us we will ensure we come to Kenya. Because across board, the team was disciplined because everyone wanted to associate with the team. So with discipline, we would rather talk about anything else, but even before performance, we look at discipline. Who are you? Who is the real you as an individual player, either when being watched or not being watched? So the first thing we look at as the national selection policy, because we have a policy in place, is the first one, discipline.
Okay. Well, your coach is talking about, pushing you to the wall so that you can actually squeeze the demon out of you. Well, in this context, I believe he's talking about, to bring the best out of you. Probably, what are some of the things that you'll say actually entails for a player to actually be at the top level? What has worked out for you?
Training. You need to be persistent in your training, especially. And for training, it's not about how you score. It's about how many times can you score that gate when you're given like maybe 3 rounds or 4 rounds, not just once. So that is one of the things that can make you, like the giant inside you, be exposed. Training should be among them, and maybe your discipline also. The discipline also should be number 1 thing, because if you are disciplined enough, if a coach comes and tells you that the way you're training is not good, it's not going to give the best results, you have to listen. If you're not disciplined, you're going to tell the coach, no coach, this is my way and I know what I'm doing. So training should be the first thing.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, coach, let us now transition to performance. We saw key players, having some bad outing, and of course I know some of them had to take very valuable lessons. What are some of the things that you as a team actually you learned, and maybe next time you'll have to improve on those mistakes in order to actually put yourself among the best, or rather among one of the powerhouse as far as football is concerned?
Yeah, we had several lessons learned in Malaysia, because in Kenya many people take just sports for fun, but in Malaysia we noticed a 91-year-old, a 75-year-old playing football, and you joke with those old guys, they can beat you. So every day, as we keep saying, that every day is a training day. So when we came from Malaysia, we didn't relax. The trainings are going on, irrespective. Now schools are opening in September. That's when the leagues are starting afresh, because our leagues runs from September to late April. So every day is a training day. We have accountability now. I told the players, when you're training home, I want evidence that you're training. And every time you train, I want also your records done, so that I get to know what are you scoring in the training. So every day is a training day. And also the players in Malaysia have also bought equipment, so that at least everyone has their own equipment. This is an example of a wooden mallet, the one we were using before. But also you can get, at least the other one is an aluminium mallet. You can help me out with it. So in Malaysia you find people are using advanced equipment. So we don't want to say we were beaten because we didn't have the right equipment, but right now some players managed to buy equipment of their own, so they don't rely on the institutions to have equipment. They have bought equipment, and we have encouraged all the players, if they are not in learning institutions, to play for those schools. They are also starting clubs, so that at the end of the day we have clubs growing.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I have a question, Coach.
Yes.
What difference does it make between that one and this one? Because is it the aim? The aim is just to kick.
Yeah.
To kick the ball.
Yeah.
What is the difference?
So here
what
is
the
the
big
concept.
difference? Yeah.
Here is the concept. And this is a wooden mallet.
Okay.
This is made of aluminium.
All right.
Let's look at it. If you have to score with one at a distance of 130 meters, because the winner is the one who scores with the least, which mallet is going to last for long? I guess it's the aluminium one.
All right.
So when you have an aluminium one, which is quite expensive, is going to last longer, because with this one you're hitting with less energy, but also protecting the mallet so that it can last for long. But you see, if you have a long-lasting equipment, you will use it as your own and not for the institution.
All right.
You see the way football is more of golf. So you see with golf, everyone has their own equipment. And when you have your own equipment, you take care of them as you own it. Meaning you will have to train on your own, even at home. With football, you don't need a bigger ground to train. It's a small ground. So we have players likes of Gaki, we have Mila Litaba, we have Alex Mugendi. Those are just some of the players. In the morning, they will send you videos to show you that they are training. Now, when they have longer lasting equipment, they will use them for themselves and also for their generations to come. Because we were being told, the player was telling us, I bought this mallet in Indonesia in 2014, and they still have it. But compared to a player who is using an equipment like this one, and then you want them to win. So imagine, despite of that, we also thank the government because it also bought us equipment. So we went with our own equipment and we managed to get medals.
All right.
So I will always repeat, I thank so much the ministry through the help of Mr. CS Ababu Namwamba for supporting the Kenya national team to such great heights. Without the government, this one will be a dream that had not come true.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, Gaki, as a player yourself, what difference, between the two? What is the big difference here in terms of even, posting the results? How will you, of course, differentiate between the two?
You see, for this mallet, when you're hitting your ball, you require more energy. You have to use a lot of energy for you to drive the ball. But for this one, you don't have to use a lot of energy when you're driving the ball. And then for this one, it has more accuracy compared to this one, because this one is wooden, but this one is aluminium. It is much better to use an aluminium mallet more than the wooden mallet. This one can also break very easily compared to this one. You see, this one has a spring.
Okay.
When you use it to hit your ball, it's going to go very far.
Okay.
Just like for this one, yeah.
All right. Well, coach.
Yes.
For me, to be honest, actually, I couldn't differentiate between the two. Which one is, long-lasting, and the purpose, or what will actually bring the desired results. And now you have spoke about the how do you call it, the stick,
mallet.
let me call it the
mallet.
The mallet. What about now the balls, because I see there is two set of balls.
So I can also show you. Oh, this is a local ball. This one, despite of being a bit old, it is an international ball. That it has the sign to show that it is a certified ball. When we went to Malaysia, we went with our local balls. So before tee-off, there is an officer who checks, is your equipment meeting the international standards? Yes. It's like just football. You can't use any sportswear when you're playing. So these local balls, we are trying to make them for the purpose of spreading the game. But the international one, when you're playing an international game, you can only use the internationally certified equipment. So that is where this one comes in. So this is locally made. The wooden one is locally made for the purpose of just spreading the game. But this one, the aluminium one, you can see it has a logo that this shows it's a certified equipment. So Kenya Woodball Federation is coming from somewhere where we are using equipment to survive and adjusting to that level where every athlete will have a certified equipment. Having a certified equipment will mean you have you have the same chances of winning, like a player in Uganda, in Malaysia, in Hong Kong, in Iran, in Pakistan, in Pakistan. You have the same equipment, and results will come. And you can imagine the national team managing all those odds and bringing equipment. So we were also challenged that they have machines, certified machines, to make the equipment. It is our prayer to sponsors and the government to help Kenya Woodball Federation grow to this extent that we have machines to make such equipment to help woodball grow like bushfire.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I want us to switch our attention now to of course, the league and the development of the woodball. And remember, this is a very, young sport in the country, and you are trying to popularize the sport. Yes. Well, I heard you talk about, the leagues and everything in between. So far, how are we with the leagues?
Yeah, we are growing. There's a fire burning within us. Right now we have over 10 universities playing woodball. We start with Kenyatta University. We've gone to Mount Kenya University. We're in JKUAT. We are now in Meru. We are in Chuka. You see the graph is going. We are in Maseno. September we are starting Maseno and Datestar. We are also going all the way to Kibabi. But as we grow the universities, as we do the leagues, woodball has been accepted in Kusa. You remember when there were FASU games in KU, we managed to introduce to the former First Lady. It is now accepted in FASU. We also have woodball in FISU. That is internationally, we are also accepted. And when the games were going on for the high schools, we were told to at least introduce woodball to at least three schools from the eight regions in the primary level.
All
Right
right.
now, Marsabit alone has 15 schools playing woodball. We are targeting to go to Mombasa. Anytime from now, I'm supposed to go to Mombasa to introduce woodball to schools in Mombasa and also to KWS. They want to learn woodball. So
Okay.
despite of just spreading games in the university, we are also going to the corporate world and also going to high schools. So that the essence of going to high school, a
Okay.
player will come from high school knowing woodball, exactly how woodball is played, and they come straight to university playing it. But also the essence of also introducing woodball to many universities, this is a player who will be adapted by the public service. They go to work to KUTV, they'll go to Kenya Power, and it will be also easy to introduce woodball to the corporate world. So we are on track.
Okay.
Yes.
And for you, Gaki, what are some of the, benefits, or rather some of the key lessons that will say woodball have actually, help you in even shaping your career as a woodballer?
Woodball has helped me to be persistent in whatever I'm doing. I don't give up, because for woodball it's a game. So of course in a game, when you're playing a game, there's a time that you're going to lose and there are times that you're going to win. So woodball has helped me to be persistent in whatever I want to do. I don't give up today. It has also helped me to gain discipline in terms of I can control my temper, I can control what I want to do with my life. Yeah.
Okay. Coach, I remember back then you were trailing behind, Uganda, being, one of the first African countries, of course, to fully, invest in woodball. But now the table seems to be turning. What will you say is, the key factor to this tremendous growth?
The key factor, we have a supporting team behind me. Sometimes they don't love the camera. There are people who are working behind us, the likes of Mr. Litaba, our SG, Mr. Mwanzia, the president, Mr. Luta from Mount Kenya University. These are forces that they are telling us, let's do it. We used to go to Uganda for benchmarking. I guess right now they should be coming to Kenya, because Uganda has a political support. We call it the political will. The first family is playing woodball, and for them, the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Sports is one. So it's easier to spread the game. They have the machines home for making the equipment. So you can imagine for them, spreading woodball is easier. But I also love the blood in Kenya. We have the Kenyanacity of sports. When a sport comes and the Kenyans embrace it. I used to say that this is literally my dream. You've asked me about the dream of woodball, that at least every homestead will have heard the name woodball and at least touched a mallet to play. So until that day happens, so long as I still breathe, I will ensure that goes on. At least every homestead. Imagine if you play woodball, your family will have touched this mallet to play it. But this game is coming a reality because, one, we have a strong woodball players base. And these guys are ready to learn. They are ready to help the spread of the game. Because most of the players like Gaki, the national team, sometimes we do work volunteer without even getting allowances. Because I keep telling them that someday sports will pay, but not now. You see the way football, you hear Mbappe has gone somewhere because of money. For us, we will take time to get there. And you see, out of nowhere, the good God helped us to be sponsored to Malaysia.
Right.
Who would have ever thought that woodball will make us reach to Malaysia? But it's because of patience and hard work. Someday we will get there. You see, men are the African champions. We are challenging the ladies to put on, so that when we have overtaken Africa, we are going now not to be number 3, not to be number 4 worldwide, but to be the champions.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, Gaki, when you play against teams from Uganda, that is the time we had the African Championship that was held here in Kenya. We had the likes of Uganda, Malawi, and you come across, or rather you come against a team that was once a force to reckon, and now the table seems to be changing. As a player, and of course from captain's point of view, what sort of encouragement does it bring to you as a player, and of course to the the team as a whole?
You see, like when you come up with, when you go to the ground and then you meet very good players like Lillian from Uganda, when you meet them on the ground, okay, the first thing that you experience is that panic. You have the panic because you're like, this guy is going to, she's going to defeat me, she's going to finish this fairway with 1, and me, I usually finish a long eye maybe with 2 or 4. So that thing, but what encourages us most is our other fellow players, because when you're playing a fairway, the referees mostly they accept the fact that some of your teammates can come and accompany you. So the more they accompany you, the more you gain that encouragement for you to compete with the good players on the ground. Yeah.
All right. And just a reminder, we have our team, of course, there on the ground at Nyayo Stadium. The match between Kakamega Homeboys and Al Hilal. Remember, that match is, I believe, we are just 5 minutes away to the kickoff, and it's a match that we are following keenly, and actually we'll be bringing you, up to date, of course, up to speed with what is happening there. And we have our team there on the ground, just on standby to bring you, or rather to put you up to speed with what is happening. And that particular discussion will be getting into it in our subsequent, of course, sports review. The match between Kakamega Homeboys and Al Hilal. Remember, that is the CAF Confederation Cup preliminary matches. That is the first leg of it, and the second leg, of course, will be played on the 27th of August. Now, Coach,
yes,
you spoke about some of the rewards, and it's just recently, I think, recently, after, of course, that Ugandan, after this beach football World Cup, I saw some of the players being rewarded, and of course even some with banks, something like that, for their achievement of what they have achieved there. Well, this is something that serves as motivation for sportsmen in the country. Well, I wonder here in Kenya if we have some sort of arrangement like that to say thank you to players like Gaki for their effort, and of course for the good job they are doing for the country.
Yeah, as a federation, first we are planning what we call a sports gala, where we'll have mostly, we can do it at the end of the league when the league has ended, where we have players like MVP, that's the most improved player, the most disciplined player, and we will have such a concept where we have rated the MVP, the player of the month, the player of the season, so that we will have them maybe at the end of the league. Yeah, so that we can have such awards. But also, you see, the Ministry of Sports has also this idea. You remember when the Mr. President awarded Faith Kipyegon for a job well done, and also Mr. Omanyala. So we are also challenged to work hard to reach to that level.
Okay.
Because when such athletes who are a role model work harder, they give us that psyche to work towards it. But we also, as a federation, we have our side to do it. So it is something we're working in a work in progress, so that imagine a sports gala where all the athletes have come together. So we mix a sports gala with something like a family meeting or a family gathering. Then we award the players with certificates, with medals, or what we have decided as a token to reward it, so that next season someone knows, enyewe, my efforts are being noticed to gain it also.
All right.
Yeah.
And for you, Gaki, of course, as a player, this is normally a question that one will be the first question even to ask. When you joined football, what was the motivation? That is question number 1. 2, too, for every sport game, just like the coach has clearly put it out, there is some sort of reward. What do you foresee in future as far as football is concerned? Do you think it's a sport that will build you and even encourage others who are watching us from home to actually join the sport?
Me, when I first joined football, the coach was the first person who encouraged me. I remember I was a first-year student, and he was like, we have a trip to Malaysia, and you still have that suspense. Can I be on the list? Something like that. I didn't know, but when he said that we have a trip to Malaysia, I was kind of encouraged. And then our coach that time, that is Mr. Luther, he gave us 200 shillings after the training, and I was very happy because I was like, I've just come to the training ground and he's giving me 200 shillings. 200 shillings is a lot of money for a comrade, and I was very happy. So that also motivated me to continue playing football. And those that I joined with that time, they are no longer in the game. But me, I had that persistence of maybe that one day this game is going to pay me. And then also the fact that when we went to Malaysia, we met grandmothers. Like AUMA is telling you, I have 2 grandkids. I'm 54 years old. And then the fact that he's old and he's still playing the game, it gives you that motivation that I will continue playing this game even when I get old.
Wait, grandmother playing football?
Yeah.
Wow,
The
that's
oldest
amazing.
was 91 years and he was awarded.
All right.
Yeah, and I remember the coach had told us that this game was invented by someone who, when his dad got old and the dad was playing golf, he sat down and asked himself, not that my dad is old and cannot play golf. Golf is for a long distance. He decided, let me do something to make my dad continue being happy, like playing for a game. So he invented football. So football is a game that even an old person can play it. We had one player that for 91 years old. He was even shaking while walking. 91 years old.
4.
Huh?
Oh, 91 years
91,
old.
yeah.
Playing
But-
golf.
No.
Football.
Oh,
Football,
football. I
yeah.
mean, playing football.
Yeah.
At the international competition.
Exactly.
World Cup.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he was shaking while walking. But when he touches the mallet and then swings the mallet, he finished that fairway with 1. And he's old. So that thing, it motivated me. I said that even my family, when I get a family, I'll make sure my children continue playing, even me, I will continue playing even when I get old. Yeah.
Wow. Coach.
Yes.
Well, the story seems to be very interesting. Football, of course, clearly, it's a very, attractive sport even for the old. Well, but you see the irony between the two. Like we have one team that is comprised of youngster, the other one we have like even the old grandma and grandpa. Well, what is your, of course, what is your dream as far as this football is concerned? You have traveled, you have interacted, now you have seen it for yourself, how some other countries have actually invested and they are passionate about this. As a coach, responsible and of course tasked with the responsibility of actually spearheading this team, what sort of legacy would you like to leave when you actually decide to hang the boots and call it a quit?
We want to lay a foundation whereby you don't have to be playing football to be a sportsman. We want you to know that football is a sport. Remember when I said that football, we say sports pay, but how will you convince a player like her that how do you tell me that I can get paid through football? We are instilling discipline amongst the players and a good attitude for the players to know that I have to invest in this sport first to get it. When we are saying we are trying to bring football to high schools, to universities and also to the colleges, we are trying to spread the foundation so that you can play football when you're 91, you can play football when you're 5 years old. So my dream is to take football to every corner of this country. And taking it to every corner of this country, encouraging youths to play, because we are being told that the youths are the future of tomorrow. But for me, I say we are the current future. So when we invest in the young ones, we are trying to learn that instead of hanging on drugs and doing what, they can start doing sports, and sports will pay someday. Because for me, I believe, I am so sure that football will one day make me drive. It has already taken me to places I never thought I'll go. Sasa ningeenda Malaysia kufanya. But I'm so sure now, God willing, we are supposed to go to South Korea for World Cup trials.
All right.
That is maybe March. God willing, now November we go to Uganda for African Championship. Ningetoka KM naenda Uganda kufanya nini. So such is an encouragement that we need to be dedicated, raising a generation that will have trust in sports, that truly sports pay, but it needs to be patient. So we have athletes who are patient to get the results, and we get there. And before my boots hang, I hope it's not time so soon, that someday we will write, instead of writing on stones, we will write on Kenyan hearts, a message that will be read by everyone, that despite of just winning in sports, we are raising players who will be used. It's like now, if you ban all the Bibles in the whole country, how will someone know that you are a Christian? Because you will be the message to the next generation.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't have to read the Bible, we just watch you, and we do exactly what will Jesus do. So what will people do when Mboya is gone? Because we are not here for long. What will the players do? They will take my spirit and take it higher to the ends of the whole country playing football. Yes.
All right. We are actually running out of time, and I'll give you 1 minute for your closing remark.
Okay. I would encourage every other Kenyan, anyone who's watching me, to try this game, this sport. It is very beneficial. Like for me, it helps me to relieve my stress when maybe I get out of school and I have maybe I'm very let's say something is bothering me. I'll just go to the ground, I play, I just feel well.
Okay. I'll coach for you. 1 minute.
I want to thank the government of Kenya for sponsoring us to Malaysia. And I want to inform the Kenyan players that this journey of hope has just begun. Let's get united and let's do this thing, because we are the Kenyans and the Kenyan spirit in us. Football can be played by any gender, any age. From 5 you can play. So I welcome you people to follow us on all the social media. We are called Kenya Football Federation on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, and let's chat a way forward so that you can help us spread the game and play football.
All right. Well, talking about following us, we have some of our ardent supporters here, and we have Remy Otieno, who was actually just commenting the good work that Team Woodball is doing, and his message reads, "Go Woodball Team Kenya." Well, thank you so much, Remy Otieno, for that. Then we have Loyat Chelini, Woodball to the world. That is, just congratulating you guys for the, good job that you're doing. Then Emily McKenna has sent lots of love for you guys, and thank you, Emily McKenna, for that. Then Faith Wamboy, a message read that you are our shining star, Team Kenya. Well, keep on talking to us, and of course for all of our social media platform, remember we are live on YouTube at KUTV Kenya. You can tweet us at KUTV_Kenya. You can also tweet me at AUMA Evans. Remember to use the hashtag on the spot. Well, we take a short break, and when we come back, we'll be taking a look at many other things. See you in just a bit. All right, now we are done with this, it has been very engagative communication, or rather discussion between the two, that is coach here and Dorcas Gatti. And of course, we have seen some sort of response from some of your supporters, of course, just wishing you all the best. We really wish you all the best, and of course we take a short break. But before that, remember, we'll be talking about up next is of course our subsequent sports review. We'll be diving into local sports review. Remember, we have our team on standby. The match between Kakamega Homeboys and Al Hilal. Remember, that is the CAF Confederation Champions League. That will be taking a look at it just to give you a few or rather bit of analysis of actually what to expect and who has what it takes to take it all. And remember, our question of the day is based on this particular match. Do you think Kakamega Homeboys has all what it takes to actually win this CAF Confederation Cup? Do you think Kakamega Homeboys has all what it takes to win this CAF Confederation Cup? Keep talking to us on all of our social media platforms. We are live on YouTube at KUTV Kenya, and you can tweet us at KUTV_Kenya at AUMA Evans. That conversation and of course plenty more is after this short break.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audio-visual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
What happens when a petitioner takes a case to that particular court, yet within our jurisdiction, the Supreme Court is the apex and the most superior court?
Thank you, Erin. We have our own judicial system, which ranges from the tribunals to the magistrate court, high court, all the way to the Supreme Court.
We are all seeing the impacts of climate change. In Kenya, for example, the frequency of the floods is becoming more and worse. The amount of people and livestock we're losing.
the level where the normal mwananchi and also the government stakeholders can uptake these solutions.
Those small acts multiplied by millions of us will help make a difference in the world at the end of the day.
It's just a slight behavior change that we need, and you find that it serves us a bit more than you put in, and that's the goal. We want to live a better world than we found, because at the rate we are going, it's dire.
We will secure the planet for future generations.
This is my jam down. I said, man, I will never give up. Na hata nikisota the way. Show me something. Everybody wanna feel like me. You was like a river. Real thing, if I never mama, I wouldn't believe it. Hear me when I say just like.
Karibuni sana to the Church O'Clock Show. I'm your host, Esther Becky.
And my name is DJ Teros.
We start you off with a word of prayer and get you started with a live transformational worship experience. And have our minds renewed by the word of God on the word segment.
And not forgetting new music za hii wiki, yani ndakuwa bado nawapatia pale wasanii wamekuwa kiwakali. So make sure manzo umetune in because zitakuwa zina flow pia pale mixes kwa wingi, yani zitakuwa zina come through, and pia performance yani from our gospel artist hapa on Gospel Art
from 7
to 10 a.m. only on KUTV.
For 3 years since the inception of Kenyatta University Women Economic Empowerment Hub, famously KUE Hub, thousands of women have been empowered economically through research conducted by Kenyatta University scholars.
Ni sasa unajua wametufunza sasa tujue hata wamama wanaweza simama mahali wanaume wanasimama.
Kwa hiyo biashara yangu ya poshomi, one, nimejua nikifanya leo, yani you know I'm selling maize na kushaga. So jioni nakuja kufanya hesabu, nitoe expenses, nione income yenye nimepata, ni safe.
KUE Hub partners with different stakeholders in implementing research ideas through decision and policy making at county levels.
As we influence policy ourselves, we use data for policy. Also use this data for fundraising, which they are doing.
Through their leadership and governance project, KUE Hub visited Bomet County for research to reach their one objective of empowering women in leadership.
Nimejaribu juzi kuania kiti cha director Kenya National Chamber of Commerce, and thank God I was elected, being a woman. And again, I've got other leadership positions yenye nimepata.
Do not miss out on this special feature this Sunday on KUTV at 9 p.m.
Alright, karibuni tena sana. Now it's time for sports review, and I'm joined by my fellow panelists here. We just want to take a dive into what is happening locally and international. And remember, we have been following 3 events that are scheduled to happen today. One is already underway, and remember, even our very own Vihiga Queen still will be playing today against a Tanzanian opponent in the Sekafa Championship that is currently rather being host or rather held by Uganda. That particular tournament is taking place in Kampala. Remember, Kenya has already won 2 of their opening matches, and they have already qualified, but they just want to look for position who will actually top Group B heading into the semis, and that is actually a good news. Remember, these are the winners of the 2021 Sekafa Championship, and they went on to represent Kenya and the zonal that is I think by then it was zonal D to the Women's Champion League, the first one ever. Sadly, they had to bow out in the group stages, but this time round, like many will say, it's a different environment and new opportunity for Team Kenya. So that is a match that we'll be following, and we will actually taking a look at it. And there is one that is currently underway at Nyayo Stadium. That is the Kakamega Homeboys and of course Al Hilal. And remember, before the kickoff to this match, I had an opportunity, of course, to talk to captain and some of players, just to give us their brief highlight of what to expect in today's game. And we had a very brief discussion about their expectation, owing to the fact that this is the first time some of players will be taking part in this CAF Champions League, and of course the first ever major and big tournament in the history of Kakamega Homeboys. And this is what they had to say. Do you have any specific target for tomorrow?
Our target is to win. Our target is to win, because this kind of competition, you win home. You win from home. When we win here, so it becomes an easy task going away. But when here you don't get good results, then away it becomes more difficult. Na nikidhani tumeshafanya maandalizi ya kutosha, tumeshapewa maelekezo na mwalimu, kilichobaki ni kutekeleza kazi ya kesho. Tumejiandaa vizuri, kila mtu ako motivated, na tunaamini kwa uwezo wa Mwenyezi Mungu tutapata matokeo mechi ya kesho. Tumecheza game 2 kubwa. Tumecheza friendly ya kwanza na KCCA, tukashindwa 2. Tukacheza hiyo ngao ya jamii, tukadraw 1-1. Kwa hiyo is a positive thing going forward, because ukiangalia tumetoka kwa lose tukadraw, so next nadhani tunaenda kushinda, na kesho inshallah Mwenyezi Mungu vijana wakiamka salama tutashinda. I think hii uwanja imekuwa most of the time in our favor, na tumepata matokeo hapa, so mara moja so mara 2. So ni uwanja ambao tumeuzoea, na tutagive all our best kuhakikisha tunapata matokeo.
Well, hii itakuwa the first time, of course, mna participate kwa hii competition. Maybe kama unaweza tuambia your experience na unahisi aje now being the first time?
Mimi ndo kidogo nimecheza mara nyingi hapa, na nilidhani hakuna mchezo wa mtu mmoja, ndio maana inaitwa football, ni teamwork. Nikidhani tutajoin pamoja na za team effort, nikidhani tutapata matokeo.
Okay. Yeah. Well, hapa tutaita ni home ground now, and then support ya mafans. Maybe kesho itakuwaje very instrumental kwa maybe you winning the game or even preparing even further for the upcoming competitions.
Yeah, ulichosema ni kweli. Shabiki ni mchezaji wa 12 na ni mtu wa maana sana kwenye mchezo wa mpira, na tungeomba wa Kenya wakuja tu support, sababu sisi team ni Homeboys lakini tuna represent Kenya, so kwa support yao nadhani tutaweza kufikia malengo yetu.
Yeah. Mwisho kabisa now, for the team, winning it as a team, of course, against your opponent, just how important is it?
it's very important because we'll be making history. This team has never participated in this kind of competition. Na tuki win kesho iteka Homeboyz to another level because Homeboyz has been growing year in year out. So winning is a positive thing towards the growth of the team.
For many, probably now the team participating for the first time, many might think maybe you are going for this tournament as an underdog. What do you have to say about that?
Even in the Mozart Cup, we were participating as underdogs because no one believed that we could beat Gor Mahia FC and Tusker, but we did so. So it's a good thing going in as an underdog. Everybody is underrating you, but when you give your best and you put God first, everything is possible. Yeah.
Some sort of any concern per team? How is the chemistry? And probably is there something that you feel like that might serve as a setback even as you look forward for very positive results tomorrow?
No, I don't think there's any concern because our team has not been broken. No one has gone in. We have just added some experienced players, and I think that is a positive thing towards the competition in the team, and that's a very good thing because going forward we just added experience. So I think that's a very good thing. Okay. Yeah.
So how is the mood in the camp right now? Are they excited? They feeling jitter, something like that, because this is a big match and a big game for the club and of course for your team. Owing some of these players will be participating for the first time ever.
Of course, the match itself is a motivation, so the players are motivated, and of course there might be some, you understand, that tension, but I think the players are motivated and we are ready to fly the Kenyan flag high. Yeah.
Well, we wish you all the best, even as you take the stand tomorrow. Finally, maybe do you have something for the fans who will be out there, of course, supporting the team?
Yeah, I would like to ask just ask the fans to come and support us, and we promise we won't let you down. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Tumejikakamua poa, kocha amefanya kazi yake, pia sisi tuko poa. Game ya Alila sisi tumejipanga at least kuimprove kwa ile game ya Gor Mahia. Tuko hapo tutaongezea kufunga zaidi vile tulifanya ile game nyingine. Naona tulipata bao moja. Game ya Alila tunaomba Mungu atujalie tupate bao zaidi ya 3.
Right. Well, hiyo ndo sasa ilikuwa kauli ya wachezaji wa Kakamega Homeboyz, wanalenga kupata bao zaidi ya 3. Well, wish them all the best. Well, gentlemen, you have seen actually the bar, they are trying to set the bar high, and when you look at this particular target that they have set, it's something that should they achieve, it will be a good plus for them as a team and for Team Kenya. Well, before you dive into that, first of all, of course, Eugene, you'll have to introduce yourself, even as you take us through that analysis.
Thank you for the opportunity. Kama kawaida, asante, tumekuja tena kuongea kuhusu football. Naweza sema for Kakamega, there's positive energy in the camp. Juu wanasema wanataka bao 3 na zaidi. Na for a fan of football, unafaa ujue ndo uweze kuwin. Unafaa ujue there's only 50% chances, but 50 ya kwanza ni yenu ya home. Saa if you manage to win level unacheza sahi, tushinde kwetu na tuwa back. Wakienda uko away, kuni hostile ground, lakini saa because of our first leg results tusaidie tuweze kwenda mbele.
All right.
Yeah.
And you, Britain, of course, what do you have to say about this?
Venye captain amesema ni,
and of course kwa wale wenye wakutambui, vijamii wakutambua, unaweza jintroduce.
Naitwa Brinton, and nashukuru tena kutuita leo, and naweza sema ni hao watu wameenda na a higher motivation, say at least wako motivated waki approach game. So I think today waki perform vizuri washinde, I think wakienda hata away grounds wanaweza shinda hiyo game. So I think this game should be easy for them to win. So I think niko na high hopes this time.
By the way, hii ni team yenye haina experience by the kwa hizi competition.
Yeah, it's a new team.
Alafu Al Hilal wamecheza, nakumbuka kuna time walikuja hapo wakacheza na Ulinzi, of course walikanyagwa, wamecheza pia na Gor. But sasa hii Kakamega Homeboys hawajaiguza hii game. Hii ndio yao ya kwanza ni kama kidogo kuna venye wanaweza enda hapo wahahe kiasi.
Sasa hiyo pressure najua inaishanga first half. First half wakimanage ku hold game, I think second half wataingia na mentality ya kushinda game. So if your first half is better, I think your second half itakuwa much better. Sasa unaweza enda sasa kufunga mabao. For now, acha tuwaamini.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Yuji, umesikia target hapo, alafu pia unaona ni timu gani wanacheza against hiyo.
But tunacheki the fact that they're going as the underdogs hapo, inaweza pata hiyo motivation. Mbona tunaonekana sisi ni wadogo kwa hii competition, alafu ni first time. So naweza sema hiyo ni wapate hiyo motivation na energy. Wanataka sisi ni wadogo lakini tu prove wrong. We go there as Kakamega Homeboys as a team, tumegel fit, tumetrain, tuko na back of my fans na Kenya in general. Not just any side kama the whole country is on Kakamega to win. Alafu hivyo Sunday tuwasaidia tuchukue kitu tuende to the next round of group stages.
Alright. Tunaona pale game pale, tunaona pia stadi ni empty na regardless walikuwa wametoa passionate call. Unajua fan ni player number 12 but wacha tu hope mambo itakuwa fiti. Wacha pia tuangalia another team here that is really out there to make history.